That progression broke down because we had someone clear into the cutting lane from the handler space.
Yep. Yes.
And it wasn't even a strike cut. It was just a, I'm gonna clear, and it ate up the lane. And then we did a very ill-advised across the field inside. Other than that, very good. We did a very good job. We need to clean up the stack. If there's one thing that I noticed that today, specifically, not necessarily all of Alabama, ugly stacks. I know I myself have been found trying to cut, but there's nothing there. Either I'm gonna force a pick or I'm gonna run into my friends. Let people go, one at a time. I'll stand in the stack like a rock and let Connor make a cut. I'll let Buffet make a cut. Let the handlers dictate the pace of the game.
One thing will help out with that is, like we talked about, communicate, saying I'm last back, I'm top of the stack, I'm top of the stack. The more communication you have in the stack, the more where everyone knows everyone is, better flow there is, because everyone's like, I can make this, I can get open, but they don't realize that there's someone behind them. I know it gets tiring in the middle of a game, but I'm saying I'm last back helps out a ton.
Yeah.
And the front of the stack commanding, like, I'm front of the stack, don't clear in front of me. And then always be the front of the stack looking at the person with the disc, because you never know when they can hit you on the inside bridge.
To that point, I think a lot of you guys played college ultimate, right? So I know my experience in college was, handler gets the disc upfield, and the first thing they say, they put their hands up and go, "Where are the cuts?" Don't worry about it, right? If the handler starts yelling at you, just don't freak out, right? You know what you're doing in the middle of the field, right? Keep the stack, hold your position, and make solid cuts. Because if you cut into the lane while your teammate is cutting, you're fucking the whole game up.
We can revisit doing like a clean stack progression and cutting like we did the drill a few weeks ago, and I thought that was really helpful. We did that cutting drill. I thought a lot of people really liked it. We got a good flow, and we looked really good on our cutting those weeks following. So let's revisit that tomorrow if there's time, and then let's just take the easy throws. We looked up a couple of easy throws because maybe our brain said, hey, we're not gaining much. Take it. If it's 100% and if it's from here to here, that's okay. It's okay. It's not perfect, but it's better than holding onto it and getting to a stall 7, rip up at the inside. But I thought you guys did a really good job. And I thought we did a lot of good improvement on communication in the zone. And I thought our wings and our specifically short deeps were doing a great job of occupying the threatening spaces.
Yeah. From the start, we kind of looked shell-shocked after the first couple of points. Able to bring that up, bring up the intensity, bring up the intelligence, bring up what we've been talking about and practicing, and play with. They have national level caliber players on their team. They have players who have been to nationals on their team. So play with some of the best players around. They're the best players around. One thing that we just need to work on is a little bit of angles on our throws. There are a couple times, especially on like the reset, where we threw a flat pass and they were able to get that deep. We just need to put a little angle on it, throw it away from the defenders. There are times when we made the right throw the wrong way. Now we're broken them open. So just being aware of where your defender is and practice literally throwing away from the defender. If Griffin's guarding Stutz, I'm aiming for his right shoulder. I'm not aiming for Stutz's center of mass, because Griffin, where can you reach?
The center of his mass.
There. So I'm aiming to where Stutz can get it, but not Griffin.
So something that Kevin was talking about earlier, and that if you guys watched any the film that was posted earlier, that definitely happens a lot in the Phoenix and Go games, is when they throw resets, especially if there's tight defense, they will step out and throw 10, 15 plus yards for a loss. Just to get the reset, just to get off the sideline, whatever it needs. 15 yards loss with possession is always better than just trying to force something in and getting a turn.
And 15 yards lost can open up a 25-yard
It's
game
called,
at the break.
so BJ would always say it's changing the angle of attack. Okay, that was the number one thing that he would coach to the area, and it was coached everywhere, especially at a high level. The goal of Ultimate is you mitigate what they can do, and changing the angle of attack destroys all of the defense. The whole premise of a defense is expecting the disc to come from a certain way. And when you change the angle of attack, all of that goes away.
Does everyone here understand what the concept is that we just talked about?
Okay.
Does anyone
Does
here have
anyone
any
need to
questions?
visually see it?
Yeah.
It's
So,
Sort of the flow set.
It's-
the break side that drill that we've been working on. It's the
break mark.
defense is forcing one way, while we want to attack the other way. Whatever the defense is trying to give us, we want to take everything else.
It's okay to do, if he's forcing me flick and I want to get the disc over to GK, it's okay to pivot and just really exaggerate. People are going to try to seal it, and I was communicating with one of our players the other day, and they want to take this inside break because their defender's giving it to them. They're giving it to them for a reason. They want that inside throw because that's a really low percentage throw and a very defensible throw.
Do it. Do the exaggerate. Now magic. So if I don't get there, easy throw. If I do get there, I'm all the way back here. And now look, if he steps back, look at all that space he has to work
But
with.
I want to look at this from the thrower's perspective. The thrower really needs to exaggerate throwing that around, that big lopey backhand around, or for the flick side, the big lopey flick side, O-I-I-O.
And again, on the reset, you're going you cut until that doesn't go up, and then you cut upfield. You give them another option. It's not that you keep cutting back. It's okay to cut back hard and lose yards, because they'll put it, if they can, to the space with you having an advantage. But if Bowers doesn't get that big loopy around, you need to go upfield, because ST has cut that space off. Magically, he's cut that big around off. But like he said, he's now out of position. The throw that is easy is you going upfield. It is not you coming back still. So it's that nonverbal cues, that nonverbal communication. When they do this, I know I need to do that without anything being said. And that's something that we've been working on all year, has gotten a lot better, but is still one of the areas of growth that is needed.
It takes time to build that.
It takes a lot of time.
We joke about it a lot, but trust the process, trust the progression. Like it works. They do it. Who was I talking to that says, I don't remember who it was. I was talking to. At the highest level of Ultimate, everybody does the same dump end zone reset. Doesn't matter what level you are. There are maybe finer tinges on it, but everybody's the same exact thing. They look dump, they look strike, they look fill. Dump, strike, fill. Dump, strike. That's all it is at every level of the game. And if we can do that, we're fine. And more importantly, if we understand that we can do that, the number one way to stopping people is just sealing the around. If it's so hard for us to do, if they can't do it either, they're going to turn it, right? That's it. Two focuses.
That was good practice. That was a lot of mental growth. That's what I saw, was a lot of mental growth. Being able to adjust to the offense and being able to adjust to the defense. So taking what was being taken away from us and taking what they were beating us with and taking that away. So that was a good practice. ST?
Oh yeah?
Are you saying mental growth or age growth? Because I just brought up the average age just for this one person.
So in case you
and
didn't
me,
know,
brother.
ST's older than all of us combined.
Yeah.
He's 250 years old.
But he'll tell you he's only 33.
Probably like 29-year-olds.
29-year-olds, he's 29 now.
Anyway, it is dark, so let's
Yeah.
break it down.
And I have to get to a shower.
Is
Yes.
it practice tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, feel free.
Touch the thumb.
Oh,
Hey.
go ahead.
Let's just get it out. Let's get it alibi bye on 3. 1, 2, 3. Alibi bye on 3.
Hey,
Thursday, it's Mel with
fellas.
Circuits.
Kind of weak.
They're doing a veteran scrim for you Albany kids on Friday, whatever your plans
What time?
are. Pretty early in the day. I think they said around 3 or so. I'm gonna try to see if I can make it. Just if nothing else, just to get some more reps in.
Yeah,
I wish. If anyone ends up going to that, don't get hurt. Like, for the love of God.
Honestly, I feel like I wouldn't recommend going. The day before a tournament, you're losing more than you're gaining for most of it.
all it's going